everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be my 20-week pregnancy update. However, I did miss my 18-week pregnancy update. So this is going to be going from 17 weeks all the way through to 20 weeks just because of that. I have been busy moving house. So as of today, I am 20 weeks exactly, and we have had one midwife appointment and a 20-week scan in that time. And so far, all of the results for everything have been absolutely perfect. An update from my previous one, they did finally give me my 12-week scan updates, and all of that was fine as well. They were delayed and didn't give me all the results for that at my previous appointment. At this stage, my rings are still on and my fingers are still actually not swollen at all. I guess it's because of the cooler climate. So it is a little bit strange to me that they still fit, because by this stage, my rings had been taken off with my pregnancy with Hunter. Movements, I am getting so many more movements and they're so much stronger, and I was amazed today to see that baby is actually about the size of 25 centimeters long, which to me is just surreal because I feel like this pregnancy is absolutely flying, and I didn't realize that bum was already that big. I guess you forget a lot about your previous pregnancies even though they haven't been that far apart. My belly this week has grown probably the most out of all of the weeks, and I've definitely gone from feeling like I have a cute bump sometimes to just being normal, and now it's very much like it doesn't feel like it's my body anymore and like I'm sharing it, because it is quite noticeable. There is no way of hiding it at all. No outfit will hide this bump. It just, no matter what I wear, it's there. So at 20 weeks, this is what my belly is currently looking like. You can tell that it's definitely there, definitely noticeable, and it only gets bigger as the day goes on. I am definitely in maternity clothes now. I'm still able to wear my normal pants just because everything that I wear is pretty well stretchy anyway. But as for tops, I actually have noticed in the last couple of days that some of them have been so short they have popped up and my belly has been exposed, which is funny because last pregnancy that didn't happen till 3rd trimester. So I am definitely wearing maternity clothes in terms of tops now. My boobs are definitely like, they haven't really changed that much. They still feel exactly the same to me. I don't feel like they've grown a significant amount like they did with my last pregnancy. So I'm definitely putting that down to breastfeeding. We are still breastfeeding. However, Hunter has 3 bottles of almond milk a day now, and then he breastfeeds for the rest of it. So overnight he'll breastfeed first thing when he wakes up, and a couple of small feeds throughout the day, but it is about half now, and I have found that my supply did drop a lot at one stage. New symptoms that I have had in this past 2 weeks, and I guess a part of it will be moving, but I am definitely struggling with my hips in the way that the 2 nerves that I have just below them in the back, so they're just in between like my lower back and my upper bum area. One of them was actually damaged when I was younger, and the matching one on the other side, I've noticed both of them have been really getting set off anytime I lift anything, and sometimes it makes it so painful that I can't even really stand or sit down or walk. I am starting to have issues with car sickness. If I sit in the back, I did actually throw up in the back of my car the other day. So I definitely can't sit in the back of a car anymore. So I am a little bit grateful that I do have my own transport and that I can drive. Last pregnancy, I did the exact same thing. Tasmania just has some really windy roads, so I guess that doesn't really help. Food aversions are definitely there. So for what I eat in a day while pregnant at the moment, usually breakfast will be some kind of toast, whether it's peanut butter or Vegemite, and then I will have an Anzac cookie. So for lunch, I'll usually have a wrap just with some cold meat, whether it's a Devon or a ham, and then have some salad on there. Then after that, usually in the afternoon, I will have some kind of snack, and then we just have our normal dinner as per usual. And then usually after dinner, I find I'm a bit peckish and I'll grab something else to eat. Sometimes it will be junk food, other times it will just be something normal out of the fridge. It just depends on what I've got at the time, but I am finding that I have my 3 meals, but I'm also having probably about 3 to 4 different snacks throughout the day as well. So when we had our scan the other day, we did not find out the gender. We stuck to it. We are definitely waiting till the birth to find out what we're having. Both of us were set on thinking we were having a girl until we seen the photo of this baby. We have absolutely no preference on what we would like. So that makes it like totally fine, but we are both like really confused now because we're like, the photos kind of look boyish, but we don't know. So it's going to be really exciting to find out what we're having. We did go out the other day and buy our new double pram, and the bassinet part for it is on order, so that should be here very soon. So once my family have come in the next couple of days and then left, we will set up the nursery, which will be really exciting. The only reason why we bought the pram now was just because it was on sale. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have bought it till like maybe 35 weeks or so, just because it's not something that we necessarily need right now, but it was on such a good sale, so we did buy it the other day. We are still set on the names that we chose at the very beginning, which we are not announcing at the moment. We are probably just going to wait until the baby is born to announce them, because obviously we don't even know what gender we're having. So yeah, but we definitely still have a girl's and a boy's name, which is really exciting. So at my scan, they also told me that my placenta is sitting up the top and at the back, which is the same as my pregnancy with Hunter, which explains why I can feel so many movements with this baby. Last pregnancy, my placenta actually came up the back wall and then folded over the front because it got so large, and I didn't have as much space in my uterus, so it took up quite a huge portion of it. So it'll be interesting to see if my fluid levels do drop this pregnancy or not. At this stage, everything is still looking great, but they have still got me scheduled in for another scan at 28 weeks, 32 weeks and 36 weeks to check the growth of the baby, but also to check my fluid levels, just to make sure that we don't experience any of the issues that we did last time. We have still only told our parents, our siblings, and just a couple of friends about the pregnancy. Everyone else so far does not have a single clue, and I am absolutely loving it. I feel like it is just so stress-free, not having to answer a million questions, but also just not have anyone's opinion on anything. And I think it's going to be really exciting for everyone anyway when they find out. I also really like that there's no pressure on me to make a decision about what kind of birth I have. I am personally leaning towards more so having a VBAC now than a repeat C-section. I'm not sure if I want to go down the route of an induction or not. The reason I do like the idea of an induction, which they've already told me the only way they do that would be with a balloon. They wouldn't be doing a drip or anything. The only reason why I like the idea of that is just because we are getting my mum to fly down to look after Hunter. So in my mind, a date always eases me because I'm a bit of a planner and a scheduler, and it would just make things a little bit less stressful. However, ideally I would love to go into labor on my own and experience that, but I know that the likelihood of that may or may not happen. I did love my C-section so much. The only reason why I'm kind of thinking I don't want to go for another C-section is just because of the fact that they have said they won't give steroids if I go into early labor. And that is what we had so many issues with Hunter last time with his breathing, and I really don't want to have another baby that has issues with their lungs, because Hunter struggles so hard now to fight off any kind of sickness, which does really scare me. However, in saying that, I loved the calm atmosphere of the C-section and how planned it was, and the fact that they can schedule in dates even though I went into early labor anyway, but I did really like that. However, the other thing that makes me not so much want a C-section is just that I was so lucky to have such a good scar the last time, and I don't really want any more scar tissue if I can avoid it, because the more scar tissue I have, the more my endo can grow or spread, because it is attracted to scar tissue. So that is another thing that does make me not so much lean towards a C-section again. However, if I did have a C-section, I would not be worried in the slightest, because the procedure itself was amazing, and the hospital we're going to is another amazing hospital, so that will be totally fine. When they last weighed me, I have actually gained a couple of kilos, which is good news. I haven't actually gone up like a significant amount. In fact, if anything, I've just gained back what I lost in the first trimester. So that is really good news, that I'm not going backwards and that I'm going forwards, but I can definitely tell that I haven't gained as much as last pregnancy, because I'm definitely nowhere near as swollen. So it's definitely not as much of a strain on my body at the moment, because I do find that the more weight I gain, the more pressure it puts on those areas and the more pain that I am in. I am finding that by the afternoon I'm starting to get a little bit tired, and that's probably just from running around after Hunter and unpacking. So hopefully once we have been to Queensland and come back, I can have a little bit of downtime and kind of rest a bit before baby comes. But as everyone knows, the world keeps going and nothing ever goes to plan, so we'll see what happens. At this stage, in terms of what I need for baby still, I really only need to get like some new dummies, and if we have a girl, I'll get some new clothes. Otherwise, I pretty well have like absolutely everything that I need for this baby now. I do want to go and get a little bunny rabbit as Bub's like first like teddy bear, which we've already picked out, so I will get that for them. But I think I'll probably just get them maybe like a cute little beanie for the hospital and a neutral outfit, and then otherwise their bunny and some dummies, and I think that's about it that I really need to buy. But once we have done the nursery, I'll see if there's anything else that I'm missing. We did get a bassinet ordered with our pram, which we can buy a stand to put on if we want to. So I'm still toying with that idea of if I want to do that instead of buying a new bassinet, which I'll probably do. And everything else I pretty well have still left over from when Hunter was born, and there's a lot of things that most things are still gender neutral appropriate, so it's not really going to matter too much if we have a girl. And I think the only other thing we might invest in is probably a toddler bed for Hunter. Because we've decided that the kids are going to share a room, it won't really work out for Hunter to sleep on the large mattress on the floor, so we may end up getting him a toddler bed when we want to move Bub from the bassinet to the cot, just because there's not really any point in buying two cots if Hunter's going to be ready soon enough. And we did actually go look at some yesterday, and he could climb in and out of them perfectly fine. Aside from all of that, just setting up everything that is in the kids' room is all I really need to do now to prepare for baby. And in the lead up to it, we will organize to pre-cook some meals and freeze them. But otherwise, I'm feeling really good about it, because there's just not really a lot that I need to organize, and everything's just kind of falling into place. I decided this time that I don't want to do a baby shower, but what I am going to do is just a morning tea with some of my girlfriends when I go back home for a couple of weeks. Just to do like a little celebration and dress up cute, but nothing big, no gifts or anything like that, because I've already done that. I just really like to just kind of have a morning tea and just sit there and talk about it and celebrate and just all of that. So that will be really nice. Hunter is, I think, starting to click on a little bit. He did crawl over the other day and point at my belly and say baby, so I guess he's starting to get some kind of idea of the fact that there are things changing, but as to how much, I'm not too sure what he understands. He has started picking up his baby doll and cuddling it and feeding it a bottle, so we are hoping to get him into a habit of taking his baby in the shower and washing it and dressing it and just all those general things, because we do think that when the baby is born, we will get him to help with things by saying like, can you get mummy a blanket or something like that, just so he feels a little bit more involved. But at the moment, he's not too disrupted by the whole pregnancy, aside from the fact that I can't pick him up as much, which is definitely hard, but it's something that he is getting used to because he is getting better with his walking. So this is the photo from the scan that we had the other day. So you guys can definitely tell why we're a bit confused and why we're kind of thinking maybe boy, but we're not too sure. And like I said, we're not too worried at all. Either way, they're absolutely adorable, and we can tell already similar nose shape to Hunter, but I can't wait to see how chubby those cheeks get and what size Bub is going to be. I am really hoping that we get about a 7-pound baby. So they're big enough and healthy enough to be able to come home with us, but also not too big that I can't go for a VBAC as an option. When it comes to pain relief options for having a VBAC, I have absolutely no clue. I know that I absolutely loved my spinal block, so I'd probably get an epidural this time. But in terms of all the different pain meds, I have no idea where to start. So if you had a natural birth and you had something work well for you, or you know like at what point in your labor was best to ask for a medication of some sort, definitely let me know down below, because I have no idea where to start with even like thinking about that or looking at that. I only ever went into early labor with Hunter, didn't make it past 2 centimeters, so I've got no idea. At that point I'd only had 1 Panadol, so no idea what I'm in for. I'm going to assume that it's going to be horrific. I did have my first birth dream the other day. I'm just hoping for the best, and I guess we'll see what happens. And obviously, like, I'll only ask for pain meds if I feel like I need it, but I have no idea like what's more effective, what's safer, like anything like that. And obviously I'll talk to my doctors, but I would love to know real life experiences from you guys, because my obstetrician is a male, and let's face it, males have no idea about childbirth when it comes to any of that, because they don't experience it. It'd be like talking to them about like a monthly period or something like that, which they just can't understand. So that is it for my 20-week update. I am so excited for baby to be here, and I know that it's going to absolutely fly by the next couple of months. I only had Hunter at 37 weeks, so that's only 17 weeks away, and that just blows my mind that it's that close. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you are new here, please subscribe, and don't forget to leave a thumbs up on the video if you'd like to see more pregnancy updates. I'll see you guys next time.